one step at a time. I always say one step at a time, one rep at a time. Just start wherever you're at. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but just start with movement. And drink water, too. So hydration is key, and developing some healthy habits. Now, I developed a habit tracker. So if you go to my website, krystalorecrews.com/habit tracker, there's a free habit tracker out there. It's a 30-day way to just start building some healthy habits. And so I would just say, just start with some small non-negotiables. Get your steps in. Move your body for 30 minutes. I teach high-intensity interval training and kickboxing for women all over the world. We're in 3 different countries, and it doesn't require any equipment. So you can just do it from the privacy of your own home and just start with 30 minutes of movement. And so just start there. And then make sure you're getting good hydration, good sleep, and then try to eat as clean as possible. And so, really determining what a good evening routine would look like will start to set up your morning routine. So a lot of times people are like, I have to wake up early. I don't have time to work out. Well, if you took a look at your habits in the evening, how much screen time you have, what time you're going to bed, do you fall asleep on the couch, and then wake up in the middle of the night and get into that, you're breaking up your routine. And so I think that is a really great place to start.
I'm looking at the website right now, and by the way, it's Krystalore Crews. It's KrystalOreCrews, KrystaloreCrews.com. And there's something that jumped out at me right off the bat, Krystalore. And it's because so many people would decide, I'm going to do an exercise program now, and they jump right at it full speed like they were 18 years old again, and they're not. But you've got a line on there that just jumped right off the website page. I want to help you get started. How do we start sensibly without hurting ourselves?
Exactly. And I have women in all ages, from 30 to 72. One of them does my workouts from a wheelchair, right? And so it's really just modifying. And I'm here to meet you where you're at, wherever you're at in the world, wherever you're at in your fitness journey. Just starting with moving your body and doing what you can with what you've got. I find most often that it really changes the chemicals in your brain the more that you move. So your confidence, the way you feel, the way your clothing fits, it's not always about what's on the scale or having a six-pack abs. It's really just moving our body and getting consistent so we can trust ourselves that we have what it takes to achieve the goals that we desire.
Krystalore, for a lot of folks who are doing what you were doing, I was in this really bad place, and all of a sudden I woke up and I got to work, and that's how I ended up the way that I am today and able to teach other people. What's your story? Is that the way it worked for you? Yes,
actually. At the young age of 22, I was in my senior year of my undergrad, and I was in the NFL, so I was an NFL cheerleader for the Buffalo Bills. Go Bills. And so I, was on top of the world. And I didn't realize, though, at the time that I was burned out. I was overtraining. I was not fueling my body properly for the 5 or 6 hours of dancing and working out and checking in at the gym. And then, all these appearances, public appearances that I had to do, I was burned out. And my body was under a lot of stress and trauma. And I ended up shutting down. And I ended up in a wheelchair for 6 months while they tried to figure out what was wrong with me. And so it was in those moments where I recognized the power of nutrition, movement, hydration, supplements, inflammation, taking endless amounts of medication. And then also I learned about depression and mental health very early on in my life. And so I vowed to never take my health and fitness for granted again, because there was a time that I wasn't able to walk. And I had to crawl. I had to fall out of bed to be able to crawl. And it took about 20 minutes until my joints would work to be able to stand up. So 26 marathons later in a 50-mile race, I don't take ibuprofen to this day because I have a system and a regimen that is a daily set of non-negotiables and healthy habits. And this is what I love to help train other people to do as well, to take their health and fitness seriously and put themselves first for at least 34 minutes a day so we can reduce stress and overwhelm of life.
Hey, we're only going to have another minute or so with Krystalore, and I want to get this in, Krystalore. You mentioned the word inflammation. We keep hearing that word over and over again. It's bad, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And the stress, what I find is that a lot of times the stress in our life, in our career, finances, relationships, it will harbor itself physically in your nervous system and in your body. And so that's really the cause of a lot of weight gain is stress and pressure and people not taking care of themselves and their mental health. So I highly recommend that inflammation it can be stressors in your life. So take care of those too and get in community. Find a great community. And if you need a sisterhood and you need a community, definitely reach out. I'm happy to support.
Wonderful. It is KrystaloreCrews.com, KrystalOre Crews, CREWS, KrystaloreCrews.com. Krystalore, thanks. This has been fun.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Stay healthy. Get out there. Cruise beyond limits. The world needs you at 100%. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Have a great day.
You too.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It is WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.